supposed, what's his name again? Sorry.
Tell me when you're ready.
He said that his brother
I'll
said
get away, he's waiting. I learned to love the look.
Yeah, so just so you
And
know.
I can read your signs.
Oh, well, greenhouse should
You're
be
jumping
okay,
on the
I think,
first
but
bus.
-4? I
And
was
they
like,
don't
are you
want to
joking
save
me?
us. We're pulling up the
Hey,
curtain.
maybe we can maybe
It
we can
covers
like,
this blue sky.
Sorry, -4 doesn't actually
Oh,
work
tell
for me. Can we do
me,
like
can you
+2?
feel
We'll see
we're
what happens. We'll see you Thursday. Bye, Linda. Take care. Thanks.
We are midnight birds floating through the night clouds, setting sails up high, lit up sky.
Greetings and salutations. Oh my gosh, it was so great seeing my friend again. Oh my God! I haven't seen her in 4 weeks. And she didn't know where the heck I went because I didn't let her know. I mean, I did let her know. I let her know that I was going to be gone for a couple of weeks. But anyway, so that's that. Yeah, just warming up the car. Oh my gosh. So speaking of friends, lots to catch up on. I can go all the way around now because my girlfriend, they don't usually do anything with this exit. So they have like a horseshoe. And remember, I always used to have to like back out of here, but now I do not. So exciting. Oh my gosh. I love coming out here in the country. And you know, I ran into a friend of my friends. I didn't know him, but anyways, he knows my neighbor. He knows the people down the other side. Like everybody knows everybody here. Oh, there's little 2 cats in the cage. And I don't have to worry about snow coming out of here. It's so great. Anyway, so wonderful to run into friends. Hang on, I'm just gonna make sure that it's recording. Oh yeah, baby. We're at 51 seconds. I mean, maybe we're in less. I don't know when I edit because I might have taken that jibber jabber out because I was jibber jabbering and I forgot that I was recording. Anyway, so where were we? Oh yeah, in the car on our way home. And so I sat with her for like an hour because we had to catch up, of course. And she's a very new friend. I've been friends with her. I want to say 8 months, maybe. I don't know why 8 months comes to mind. I'm just trying to think when was the first time that we really started hanging out. And I made it like a religious thing. So when it comes to friends, you're going to be shaken up a little bit. I see that you guys are being shaken up. You guys are being shook. When it comes to friends, it's funny because since I've moved away, I have realized, not even realized, it has become more clear, more crystal clear that there are very, 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 very different kinds of friends. As soon as my cousin got sick with cancer, I already felt a shift. I was always, let me tell you what kind of person I was always before. So in my past life, before I started maturing, I loved everyone, and like, you know, people hurt me over and over and over, and I just, you know, what's that saying? Trick me once, shame on you. Trick me twice, shame on me. My oh my, the amount of times shame on me happened, I mean, I'm embarrassed actually to admit it, but I will say it's true. I would forget that someone hurt me, and I would let them hurt me again. Just wait, I gotta pass this little, everybody's farming, and everybody is driving their tractors and like on the road and everywhere. It's just such a hustle and bustle. It's amazing. It's just so wow. I mean, the birds in the morning. Side note, like I'm totally going off the rails here, but in the morning, y'all, I gotta tell you, okay, you know how winter is so gorgeous? Oh, spring, our windows are wide open, not just a crack anymore, wide open. And in the morning, I don't know who you think is God or the creator, who's responsible for all of this, but it's okay, a cloudy day, but the animals, yesterday I saved a big frog. It was like this big, it was like the size of my hand, like this big, because I have 3 cats that are now outside on the prowl, and I do not, and I repeat, I do not want them to kill my frog friends, okay? I want my frog friends to live. There's no reason why they should eat frogs, because I want them to all live. At night, they make the most beautiful song. You know, I don't know who you think is responsible for this art called nature, but whoever it is, whether it's God, the creator, the divine, whatever you name it, I am so grateful every morning, because in the morning I have my coffee, and whether it's cloudy like this or it's beautiful sun coming at you, every day is a different set of art. It's just so brimming with life. And anyway, so back to Friends. I don't know why I went on a tangent there. When I moved up here, I realized quite quickly that there are some friends that are deep friends, root friends, and they are segregated away from the branches friends, the friends that, you know, are more for convenience, are more for a good time, are more for, if you're in sight, then you're in mind, but if you're out of sight, you're out of mind kind of friends. Those are the branch friends. And then there are the leaves, the ones that I met, for example, and time will tell, but a lot of the people I met, say in Cuba, we had a terrific time, great people. I would have totally liked them to start being branch friends, like more in touch. I would love to be in touch with some of these people, because some of these people were really cool. Like, I really liked them. But I realized that when all of us got home, they got home, we got home, we're leaf friends, because we're easily discarded. We didn't have any roots that we feel obligated to, in terms of saying, how are you feeling? What are you doing? Is there anything, you know, you want to talk about, get off your chest? And it's funny, because this morning, one of my root friends, so the root friends, I would say, are starting to be less and less. I would say that there's generations, with each coming generation, I feel like we have less and less ability to make these root friends. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that, but my observation as I'm getting older is that my children, and I wonder now if I'll still see this moving into my grandchildren, is that they don't have the same ability to withstand the test of time and the strength in which it takes to have a root friend. So what do I mean by that? Well, I simply mean that when you have a root friend, generally, historically, that friend you can fight with, like literally fight with, argue with, disagree with, disapprove of, sometimes even insult. Not that I'm, saying it's a good idea, but sometimes you insult each other. Root friends. There is a recovery period where you fight, you argue, you snip it at each other, you cut each other. I mean, with words, generally, hopefully. And you can recover from that because there is so much investment in that person. The roots are so deep that you can't just like uproot and just, I'm going to start anew. No. Your roots are so deeply embedded with that person. The time that you spent, the love that you've poured into this person, the effort that you've given this person. It is not worth your while to discard that person. They are not like branches where you can just cut them off and go, you know what? You're like a twig that's on my nerve and I ain't gonna deal with you. Those are branch friends. You can cut them off. But the root friends, if you cut them off, you're gonna feel like you're cutting off a limb, like your own limb. And I was thinking about this while I got home, and this really came up to my mind when I got home, and one of the friends that we met while we were away I texted back, but there's been nothing since. And I thought to myself, we're going to keep in touch. We really found like-minded people. And I thought that we found like-minded people. And every friend starts as a leaf, right? And then it solidifies into a branch. And then over the years, it really brings it down to a root, right? Sorry, I'm looking for one of my little faces. I see you guys are dirty, but I can't help you. But when I started realizing that there was like a couple, like this really cool couple, I talked about them in one of my videos. The couple that was Venezuela and 2.0. Those girls, I thought we hit it off. I really enjoyed spending time with them. Every chat that we had, I'm like, these are my people. Like, they think very similar to the way we think. And it's very important in this day and age because, as in the last video, I was talking about how the people that rule us and control us, they have done such a great job that a lot of times you can't even connect with a person. You can't connect with people that think in such opposite, like if you think the way that they want us to think, which is most of us, but if you follow the matrix or if you follow the status quo, if you follow everything that they give us, everything from foods you should eat, when you should eat, like breakfast is the most important part of the day. No, it's not. It's called breakfast. So you're breaking your fast. You shouldn't be breaking your fast. Your fast should go on as long as you can. That's my opinion. But the people that think that breakfast is the most important part of the day, most important meal of the day, I mean, we're not going to agree because I disagree with the narrative that they're giving us. I disagree with it. And I disagree with it not because somebody told me. Yes, no, that's a lie. Someone told me because someone told me that, and I believed that for many years. And then someone said, breakfast, the word breakfast, what does that mean? Break fast, okay? Why are we fasting? Because our body needs to fast, because it needs to recover, because digestion is one of the hardest things for our body to do. You turn on this big freaking motor that like digests stuff. It doesn't have much energy to divert anywhere else, and that made more sense to me. And then when I started implementing less breaking of my fast, I started feeling better. But that wasn't even enough to make me feel better. So I started understanding that I need to stop believing what I'm being told and choosing a group that I'm being told about and actually try things. Try things. Be the scientist, not listen to the scientist. And if somebody doesn't have that same sort of, or at least they're not going in that direction where they believe that they should actually have a say on their own body, on what they do in their life, on what, how they're approaching every situation. Every situation should be approached the same way. You should question everything. You should question everything. Like last American Vagabond says, question everything. Do not believe anyone, and I mean anyone. Why do you think, friends, that there is such a low trust in the world amongst people like you and me? Like, I'm coming on the internet and I'm talking. And before, people believed the internet a lot more. Right now, there's a big mistrust happening. Why? Because we are realizing that everybody's a leaf now. We have very few places that now have roots. We have very few roots, people. Very few roots. And that is a very big problem. Because, why? In order to trust and to know that, like, for example, my best friend, I trust because of history. I trust that she will not hurt me unless absolutely necessary, like life or death, or she doesn't know she's hurting me unknowingly, right?
Morning.
Oh, hi. Can I get a small coffee with milk
Okay.
and a small coffee with cream?
And a small coffee with one cream.
Yes, please.
That's everything?
That's everything. Thank you.
Alright, 335 drive-thru.
Thank you. So, why is there such a mistrust in the world, you ask? I argue because we have way too many leafy friends. Meaning, hang on 2 seconds. Hi. You? Can I get a tray by chance?
Sorry?
A tray?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. And just think about it. Just think. Oh, actually, that's so funny. That guy was so funny the other day. My husband used this Tim card. See, there's like all these colorful little things in there, and he's like, "Oh, this card is so cool. It matches your eyes." Oh my God, he was so funny. Anyways, and he's like this big, bulky guy with like a little thing in his eye, like in his, like, right here, he's got like a piercing with, like, I think it's yellow or pink little bead. It's so funny. So cute. Like, he seems like such a macho man, and then he's like, "Oh, this card matches your eyes. It's such a cool card." And my husband's like, "I bought it here." Anyway, so as I was thinking about, because I did zero recording for over 2 weeks. I think it was over 2 weeks. 2 weeks for sure, but I think it was even over 2 weeks. And I was thinking about these things, and I realized, I'm like, oh, and it's so funny because I thought, oh, I should pick up the camera and I should do a recording, and then I'm like, no, let it sit and let it sort of sit in the sauce and think about it. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that human beings are being taken away from root friends, and it's being promoted everywhere. Because if you're, say, and even my girlfriend, who I went to visit because I'm bringing my love eggs everywhere, and y'all, like, the people love my eggs. I love my eggs, but I'm sharing my eggs with other people that I know, and people are just so happy to have my eggs. I'm so happy to be able to provide them. And it feels so good. Like, I feel so proud of myself that I've been able to do that. So then I went to my girlfriend's, and you know, she has recently, like, lost her, not recently, but a while ago, she lost her long time spouse. And I knew him, and I loved him, and I think of him and talk to him often. But she's got this wonderful human being right now in her life, and he's just so wonderful to her. Like, you know what, I approve. All I'm saying is it's been a rough couple of years with this corona nonsense, and I mean, it would be so hard for someone to be all alone. Okay, she doesn't have children, and to not have anyone especially after losing her spouse, it was difficult. And you know, I realized it solidified my thinking about this deep root friendships, relationships, people that we've invested so much time in are so important, even if sometimes they're shitheads. You know, sometimes our root people are shitheads. Let's admit it. Let's say it as it is. Sometimes they are just flat out shitheads. But then so are you. You can have the ability to be a shithead. And let's face it, there's a lot of shitheads in our life, but some of them still love you. And some of them do still have some good qualities. Okay, granted, there could be some shitheads where their qualities sometimes that are negative outweigh the good ones. But I think that you would find even the ones that are kind of shitty root friends, if something really came up and you needed them, they'd be there. They'd be there. You wouldn't be even expecting them to be there, and they would be there. And I think we're in a world right now, like, for example, with my girlfriend, I saw it in her. She's so happy. She's so happy she found someone, and this someone is so wonderful. He's just wonderful. But she yearns that root, that memory, that sense of feeling like you don't have to try because you can just be there. Like, you could be a limp noodle, or you could be an asshole and still be able to depend on that root to be there, even if you were an asshole, or even if you weren't like your best self, or even if you weren't exciting. Those root relationships are the ones that know us for who we are. Because if you're a branch, and the only reason why I'm using this scenario is because I told my girlfriend this, and she said, that's such a great analogy. And I'm like, I wish I would remember these damn analogies when I'm in front of you guys, because some of my analogies are pretty good. Like, they're pretty good. And some of them suck, of course. It's like 60-40. 60 good, 40 bad. And that's why I'm using this analogy, because it's true. Because she's got a really great branch for a boyfriend. She's got a really great branch, but she's a little older than me, and she has no children. And because of that fact, it's very hard to now grow a root. When you're kind of on the later part of your life, when you're kind of settled, you are who you are. You're no longer growing in the directions that you used to when you were younger. And you miss that ability to just be you, without any bells and whistles, without having to worry about what you say and, oh, is this gonna offend this person because he doesn't understand my humor, for example, or he doesn't, like, I always say to my husband, God, please don't let anything happen to you. I don't want to be left, because I don't know if I'd be able to, I wouldn't be able to plant deep roots like I have with him. I was a child when I met him. A child. And he was a child. And we grew up together. And now we're old. Like, we got like old saggy skin now. And I mean, we have Winkles and like we have like we sweat and we stink now. Like when we met, I never stunk. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, I really didn't. Now, if I had to date like my poor girlfriend, although you know she's awesome because she really lucked out. I would have to put like all these products on because I wouldn't be like, hey, accept me for who I am kind of deal, right? So all that background noise information to say that, do you ever wonder why there's such a low trust in the world? It's because I think our masters, the people that have the time to control us and plot against us, have done a very good job of cutting out our roots and knowing all full well, that when they destroy and poison our ability to have root friends, root trusts, deep connections with people, that they make us all very weary. Because you can't trust that a branch is going to hold you, but you can trust that a root is going to keep you in place. And I guess what I'm trying to also put out there is take very good care of root friends. And if you are just starting out and you're a younger person and you've stumbled on this old woman talking, take good care of your friends that are true, that have been there, that are able to sit with you and hold your hair when you're sick, and not because you overdrank and partied, but because you're sick, because you're really sick. And take care of the people that need your affection. Make sure that if someone is worthwhile, you go and bring them chicken noodle soup and hold their hair. Because I'll tell you this much, if we keep going in the direction that we're going now, nobody's going to trust anyone. And if you cannot trust anyone, you are weak, because you don't have someone that you can lean on when you're feeling weak and you know you're weak. Psychologists, psychiatrists, and alike have all gained power, wealth, and knowledge of all of our problems because we are lacking root relationships, people that are deeply ingrained in us and rooted in us, people we can trust with our problems, people we can go to and say, look, I have this problem, it's very personal, I want to talk to you about it and get your opinion. We are not there anymore. Those were the psychologists, those were the people that we should be entrusting with our personal information, not people that we pay. They are not invested. The only investment they have in us is for us to keep being in the problem that we have, or create a new problem in order for us to go and keep paying their pockets, filling their pockets, lining their checkbooks. Maybe that's like an old analogy, checkbooks, because there's no such thing really anymore. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that I'm on to something that makes sense to you? Or do you have another opinion? Do you have another opinion as to why we are such a mistrusting society now? And it's funny because we're mistrusting of each other. This is another point. We're mistrusting of one another, but we trust blindly, and that's very important, in the professionals, in the system. My great-grandmother would never believe the system. You know why? Because she can't keep the system accountable. Not like she can keep a friend accountable or a family member accountable. Because if you can't have access to that person, you don't have any recourse. So you trust blindly in the system that what they put in your body is safe, which it's not, because we're all getting sicker. With listening to our problems, which is not, because we're all there's more and more people that need psychologists, psychiatrists, and I'm not knocking it if you go. I went to one, but I went for 2 sessions, and this guy was good, because this guy was not in it for just money, okay? He had connections to work with other people or whatever. He made his money on helping people. At least he was an old school kind of guy. He kind of let me know how I was thinking and perhaps why I was thinking, to give it a thought. I gave it a thought. I came to my own solutions. He patted me on the back and sent me on my way. 2 sessions. So I'm not afraid, to say or admit that I went to someone to just ask for someone's opinion that wasn't connected to me. But I did not go and see this person for years and years and years and years. Like, it's cool in Hollywood to say, oh, I spent years of therapy for this. No, you shouldn't be spending years of therapy. You should be spending years of working and self-learning. Go inside. Figure out what your root problem is. Stop. Think. Don't go to someone that is reliant on your paycheck to be given to them for help. It's just counterintuitive. Make a friend. Talk to a friend. Speak to an elder. Speak to your parents. If you can't speak to your parents, speak to a friend. If you can't speak to a friend, speak to someone that you admire but isn't maybe in your circle of friends. If you don't trust someone is going to hold your confidence or things in confidence. But when I was in Cuba and when I came home and when I thought that I was going to make these relationships, they were going to be long distance relationship, but I thought we were going to be in touch. It doesn't look that way. There is a couple that is in touch and they've been very good. But for the most part, they were just leaves. Wonderful leaves. I loved spending time with them. I loved chatting with them. But they were just leaves and I've got to let them go. That season has passed. The leaf has moved on. It's fallen off the tree and it's okay because I'm left with deep-rooted friends. And the ones that I know are deep friends are the ones that are still in touch with me, even though I don't live minutes away. I live many hours away. Anyway, that's that. I don't know what you think of that, but let me know. Talk to me, baby. But yeah, it's kind of gloomy today. I'm probably going to be doing things that are more physical, so I'm going to have to go and get changed, put my hair up in a bun and get working. And I guess I'll be spending time with myself, figuring again myself out. The best thinking I do is when I'm working physically. When I physically work, best thinking. Try it. It really works for me anyway. And the other thing is I haven't watched any television. We came back, watched 2 movies, and that was enough. And we haven't watched, well, I don't have a TV, but we haven't watched any movies besides those 2, which we were just exhausted. We didn't want to do anything else. We were lazy. And that was that. But other than that, I wish you guys a wonderful day. I hope wherever you are, it's warm and sunnier than here. And I hope that you make deep connections. And I hope that with those connections, you take care of those connections. Be mindful. It's kind of like a tree or a living plant. Water it, give it love, talk to it. And do not neglect your deep-rooted relationships. Whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends, whether it's your neighbors. Be your best person. And I don't mean falsehood. I mean be the best person you can be, the kindest you can be to those people that you know that you can count on in times of need. Because we are embarking on a real time of need. And I'm home now in my little junkyard. And until then, my friends, love you lots. Mwah.